So I just discovered an AI note taker that takes your meetings and automatically turns them into professional summaries. You can turn them into podcasts and even mind maps. And the coolest part is there are no awkward meeting bots that have to join your call in order for this to work. This works completely in the background, and I'm honestly blown away by how well this works. The tool we're looking at today is called TicNote Cloud. They asked me to sponsor this video and have me take a look at this, so let's do that together. If you want to follow along with me and try this out for yourself, I'll have a link for it in the description down below so you can get started. Now, the reason I was interested in checking this out is because I have tried other AI note takers like this in the past, but they always required having this awkward bot actually join the call with you as a separate participant, and TicNote doesn't do that. This works through a Chrome extension for web-based meetings, or you can record directly from their website for desktop meetings like Zoom. So it's completely seamless. There's not going to be some awkward bot on the call as well, and it just looks a lot more professional. In addition to that, and this one is really important to me, anything that you create with TicNote Cloud belongs to you. You can use the transcripts and the content for commercial purposes. So if you're using this for like client meetings or interviews or creating content, you don't have to worry about any kind of usage rights. After you sign up, the first thing you're going to want to do is actually get set up to actually be able to record any calls. And there's two ways to do that. The first is with a Chrome extension. You should get prompted to download that, but you can always just search on Google for TicNote Cloud Chrome extension. It should be the first result, and then you can go ahead and add it to your Chrome browser. You can see it's now up here for me in the top right. And now you can use this Chrome extension to record any meeting that's based in a browser like Google Meet. So all you have to do is click on the top right on the Chrome extension. You can click Start Recording. And now I am recording this meeting right now. Now, the second way to do this is if you're using something like Zoom, which isn't web-based. And for that, all you have to do is come to your dashboard and click on the top left here where it says Record. Give it all the permissions that it's asking for. And you can see down here that the recording is now in progress. Once you start a recording, either through the website or using the Chrome extension, you're going to notice that TicNote begins to do a few things right away. First, during the meeting, you're going to see the transcript being generated in real time. On top of that, you can also take your own notes during the meeting, and those notes are getting saved right alongside the transcript. I've been finding this really helpful because sometimes during a meeting, you have a random thought or you want to flag something important. You can just jot it down right here, and later when you're reviewing the transcript, your notes are right there in context. It's very helpful. Once your meeting is over, you can go ahead and return back to the dashboard. You'll see all your meetings here on the left. And this is when you can really take advantage of its AI capabilities, because you can select any of these meetings and then come right here and actually generate a summary of it. Now you'll notice that when you click this, you can choose what language it's in, you can choose which AI model you want to use, and then go ahead and click on Generate. Now, while we're waiting for that to generate, if you're finding this video helpful, do me a quick favor, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm constantly finding and testing out these brand new AI tools. So if you don't want to miss out on any ones in the future, definitely make sure that you subscribe. So you see now is now complete, and it was able to identify that there were two different speakers here. It gives us a nice overview of what this meeting was about, as well as each topic broken down. Down here are some key data points, and there is this Q&A as well to really keep yourself refreshed on all the information that was given inside the meeting. Finally, down here, we have core insights, and then we have follow-up actions for you to take. But it doesn't just stop with this summary. There's a whole lot more that TicNote is able to create for you. So moving along here, you can actually, up here, you can actually play the audio if you want to listen to it. We also have the full transcript here broken down by speaker. Next to that, we have Mind Map. Now this is incredibly useful. What this does is it shows you all the knowledge that was present inside of this meeting broken down for you. So we can see right here the key data. Up here, we see the core topics that were covered, and then the subtopics, and then the subtopics, and then et cetera, et cetera. So it really breaks it down so you can visually see everything that was talked about during this meeting. Now, if you just need a real quick recap of everything that happened, that's when you might want to come to the aha moment. because here the AI is able to identify for you what like the number one takeaway from this meeting was and their insights regarding it. And they even create this really nice infographic for you as well that you can look at and reference if you're a more visual learner. And it doesn't just create one of them, it actually creates multiple infographics for you to reference. Now, I don't know about you, but anytime I finish a meeting, there's always something I have to follow up on, some subject that we talked about that I want to dive into deeper. And that's where research reports come in, because the AI is actually able to identify for you topics that it thinks you should do further research on. And as long as you agree with that, you can click right here where it says start research, and it's actually going to go out and do that research for you, so you don't have to do it. And here's the report that it put together. And you see it's not just a brief answer. It really goes out and does a ton of research and puts together a complete research guide into the topic. And this last tab here is one that really surprised me. I didn't think I was going to use it all that much, but I have found myself using it, and that's the podcast function. What this will do is actually generate a podcast from everything that was talked about in the meeting. And why I find this helpful is, let's say you missed a meeting or you need to get caught up on a meeting pretty quickly. You can generate one of these podcasts, and while you're exercising or while you're driving, you can listen to it and get caught up without actually having to sit in front of your computer. And these aren't just robotic regurgitations of everything you talked about in the meeting. This is actually AI generated. Sounds super cool. Let's go ahead and listen to this one. And this was a meeting, by the way, between me and my running coach. So they were giving me a lot of tips on how to actually improve my running. So now this is the podcast that was generated.
You know what's crazy? I've been running for years, but never really understood the mechanics until now. That biomechanics discussion really opened my eyes.
Right? I always thought running was just running.
So super cool. 2 different hosts talking about the subject that was discussed in the meeting. It is really, really fun, really, really cool, and a really easy way to get caught up on any meetings while you're on the go. But without a doubt, my favorite feature inside of TicNote Cloud that I use the most and I think is the most helpful is their Shadow Agent AI. That's over here on the right. Now, besides just being a really cool name for an AI agent, this is incredibly helpful to gain insights about your conversations or to pull out specific information that you're looking for. So for instance, returning back to my running conversation with my running coach, I know that during this conversation, he told me what kind of base I needed to have before I started my marathon training, but I don't know what it was and I can't find it. So I'm just going to ask Shadow Agent to find it for me. So I'm going to click on the @ symbol and then choose that conversation. And then I'll just ask it, what kind of base did he say I should have before I started marathon training? And then here he's generating a response. He said, you should have a solid running base of 20 to 30 miles per week consistently without pain before starting marathon training. So a real short answer right here. And then he goes into more details right here based on what was talked about during that meeting. But to take this kind of up one level, you can actually use Shadow Agent across multiple conversations. So for instance, I can go ahead and tag 3 different recordings here, and you can do more than that, but I just have 3 right here for this example. And then I can say something like create a to-do list based on these conversations. And here you can see it is looking at all 3 of those conversations. And then based on that, it's putting together a to-do list. So if you have multiple meetings across a single day, and you want to be able to compile all that information into one AI to be able to ask questions about it or to get a summary or to-do list, you can absolutely do that using Shadow AI. And the other thing you can do inside of here to stay very organized is you can create different projects. So if you click right here, that will start a new project. I can call this one, for instance, running. And then all of my running meetings I can throw in there. I can create another one called work. And then anything related to work, I can throw in there. And of course, I can see all of them like that. That way you can stay super organized with all of your information. You can also upload audio files. So if you have previous recordings from before you started using TicNote Cloud, you can go ahead and upload those as well. So you'll still have access to them all in one place. So there you have it. That's TicNote Cloud, an AI note taker that automatically turns your meetings into summaries, mind maps, and podcasts, all without using any meeting bots. If you want to try it out for yourself, make sure to click the first link down below in the description to get started. They do have a free plan, so you can test it out and see if it works for your workflow. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.